One evening I was looking for an internet cafe because I needed to send a few emails. I spotted one in an old building. The sign said it was on the 6th floor. When I walked through the entrance, there was a dark hallway that led to a small elevator. I pressed the call button, and when the doors opened, I stepped inside. In a lot of Asian countries, many buildings do not have a 4th floor. The number 4 is considered bad luck because the word for 4 sounds almost the same as the word for death. The buttons in the elevator were 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I pressed the button for the 6th floor. The doors closed and the elevator quietly began to ascend. When it stopped and the doors opened, I was about to step out when I realized something was wrong. The hallway was in total darkness. By the light emanating from the elevator, I could make out random pieces of furniture covered with white cloth. It looked like it hadn't been occupied for decades. I thought I must have gotten off on the wrong floor, so I checked the buttons, but none of them were lit up. There was nothing to indicate what floor I was on. Just then I noticed something moving at the end of the darkened hallway. I couldn't quite make out what it was, but it looked like a person dressed in some type of gown. The figure was moving slowly down the hallway towards the elevator. It creeped me out, and in a panic I started pressing the closed door button. All of a sudden the light in the elevator flickered and turned off. I was plunged into pitch darkness. I was so freaked out I almost wet myself. Just as I was about to lose it completely, the lights flickered and came back on. The doors closed, and the elevator jolted back to life and began to ascend again. I breathed a sigh of relief. When the doors opened this time, I was at the internet cafe. I went over to the counter and I told the girl who worked there what had happened. As she listened, her face grew pale. She said that some of the customers and a few of her co-workers had experienced something similar. She never had experienced anything herself, but she told me about the story of the building. Apparently, the 4th floor had been a hair salon at one time. It was a prospering business until one of the women who worked there killed herself in the salon. Nobody knew the reason why, but she slit her wrists over a basin and bled to death. The salon continued to operate, but they were plagued by weird and inexplainable events. Sometimes when customers were having their hair washed, the water would turn red as blood. Other people claimed that when they looked in the mirror, they would catch glimpses of a ghostly figure standing behind them. When they turned around, there would be no one there. Because of these events, the salon developed a bad reputation and began to lose customers. Eventually, they were forced to close down. The building's owner tried to rent the 4th floor out to other businesses, but when they found out that someone had died there, nobody would take it. Finally, the owner reduced the price to nearly nothing, and it was rented by a businessman who planned on opening a stationery supply store. However, when they tried to do some renovations on the floor, there was a series of mysterious accidents. The workmen's tools would sometimes disappear, only to be found in strange places. A large mirror suddenly shattered when nobody was near it, and a workman had his hand crushed when the elevator doors closed on him unexpectedly. Eventually, the workmen were spooked and refused to continue, and the businessman pulled out and left. The building's owner gave up trying to rent the 4th floor and just shut it down. He had the buttons in the elevator replaced, and it was reprogrammed so that nobody could go to the 4th floor. At least that was what was supposed to happen. For some reason, when people took the elevator, it would sometimes stop on the 4th floor. And when the doors opened, some people would see a figure coming towards them in the darkness.
The covers are always a safe place in my bed. Everyone's out and I'm home alone. I slip between the covers, try not to think bad thoughts. In complete darkness, I I'm afraid. Don't worry, friend. They can't get us in here, it whispers back.
A young man decided to go on holiday with his girlfriend. She told him she wanted to go somewhere hot and sunny, so he booked 2 tickets to Thailand. They spent 2 weeks touring and enjoying a wonderful time together. They met a lot of friendly people, visited many exotic tourist attractions. In Bangkok, he saw the Grand Palace and a variety of interesting Buddhist temples. He relaxed on the beautiful sandy beaches of Phuket and swam in the crystal clear ocean. In Chiang Mai, he went shopping and then they danced until dawn at a number of bars and nightclubs. The holiday brought the couple closer together. They both were impressed by the charm of the Thai culture. When they returned home, their digital camera was full of photos of their a few days later, the young man was looking through the photos and remembering the good times they had shared. All of a sudden, he noticed that in several of the pictures his girlfriend had taken of him, there was a strange woman standing in the background. She had long black hair and wore a flowing white gown. She was standing too far away to make out her face. The man decided to show the pictures to his girlfriend. "Do you remember this woman?" he asked. No, I don't," she replied. "I thought you were alone when I took this photo." After examining the pictures more closely, they realized that the strange Thai woman was lurking in the background of several photos they had taken in different cities. It was as if she had been following them as they toured the country. The young man went through the rest of the photos they had taken, and when he came to the last one, a chill ran down his spine. It was a picture of him standing in the middle of a busy street. The strange Thai woman was standing directly behind him, peering over his left shoulder. This time, her face was clearly visible. Her skin was deathly pale, and she didn't have any eyes. He found all of this extremely unsettling, and he wanted to know who the weird Thai lady was and why she had been following him. He decided to visit a psychic to get to the bottom of it. His girlfriend made an appointment with the psychic for him, and he printed out the photograph in which the woman's face was visible. The next day, when he visited the psychic's office, he sat down on the sofa opposite her and took the photograph out of his pocket. Pointing to the pale lady in the picture, he asked, "Can you tell me anything about this woman?" The psychic took the photograph and examined it closely. "Yes, I can," she replied. "She's standing right behind you right now. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear. It's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated." "It's safe to come out now, sweetie," Dad said reassuringly, his blue eyes shining at me through the gap in the bedroom door. He's been saying that for hours, but it doesn't change the fact that my dad's eyes are green. Have you ever stood up and felt a wave of dizziness? Has it ever been so strong that black and disappearing vision, as if you were going to pass out? This isn't out of the ordinary to most people, but in fact, it's not a good thing. This feeling occurs when a demon or demonic spirit is trying to possess you, and they almost succeeded. Next time, they might win. Are you prepared for it? Turn around. Nothing to the right. Just empty space. Air, maybe a breeze. Furniture, stairs, bed, and maybe a window. Whatever it is, it's unimportant. It just matters that there is no one there, right? Yes. Did you feel that? That flicker on your spine?
Don't worry, it's probably because you've been up reading scary stories. Paranoia is normal. You want to turn around again? Go on then. Now you're back. I have one order. Do not turn around again. You've looked through it twice. It has looked through you. If you turn around, you will see it. And if you see it, it'll see you. You're safe for now, with your eyes facing me. But you have to realize, you have turned to face this way 3 times. I wouldn't look up.
What's going on, you guys? Here are 3 creepy stories that I hope you enjoy. One day, a strange phenomenon started happening. People started falling from the sky. They were never clothed, and they always had a petrifying grin on their face. It had just been a few at first, but then hundreds of thousands would fall at a time, destroying cars, homes, and blocking off highways. Strange discoveries were made upon research. They were all human, but they lacked any blood, intestines, or even a heart. No one could explain the hideous grins that they had, or even where they came from. It was a woman in Costa Rica who had made the latest and most disturbing discovery. She had recognized one of the fallen bodies as a long-dead relative, one who died way back when she was a teenager. The more and more identifications were made. Soon, people were picking out their long-dead loved ones amongst the video feeds, cadaver piles, and crematoriums. No one could explain why they were coming back, falling from the sky. Even more distressing, after disposing of the bodies, it wouldn't be long until that same body came plummeting from the sky again. You couldn't get rid of them, no matter what you tried. People were getting killed by the higher volume of fallen bodies, and soon, after burial, they too began to fall. My mother unfortunately was killed when a body landed on her car, crushing her. But the next week, the news reported on a body that had got launched in an airplane windshield. And on that newscast, I saw my mother's grinning face, the happiest I had ever seen her. They say when hell is full, the dead shall walk the earth. But what about heaven?